Welcome to Kendra's Artistic Crochet Designs. And today we are going to be making this butterfly, this beautiful butterfly diamond. And we're going to start out with green. So my butterfly, we're going to use this blue background in it. It's called Royal Blue. And there's a light yellow I'm using. And then this mango color and a black and green. So we're going to start out with the green. And we're going to start with a slip knot. And we're going to chain two. And then make sure that this. There you go. Alright, so we're going to chain two. And we are going to, in the second chain from the hook, we're going to put a single crochet and two doubles. Now, if you made these diamonds with me, you already know this, but for those who do not know, and this is the first time you're watching one of my diamond patterns, this is a this is a block, and it's also a falling leaf stitch, and that is row 1. All right, we're going to chain 2 and turn for row 2. And so in the second chain from the hook again, we're going to put that falling leaf stitch in there to create the first block. In row 2, we need 2 blocks. So there's one, and you're going to skip the next 2 stitches, and in the third stitch over, you're going to create another falling leaf stitch. All right, and there we have it. So now we have the first block, and we have 2 blocks on the second row. We're going to chain 2 and turn for row 3. We're going to use the green in the first block, and we're going to put a block in the second chain from the hook, and that's what you'll do at the beginning of every row until you get to row 25. And then we're going to add in our blue. Now, if you noticed, I did not finish off that last second crochet, double crochet. So I went through 2, and then I kept the other 2 on my hook, and I'm going to bring this blue through there. And the next block is going to be blue. And then we're going to switch back to green. And then the last block is green. So it is green, blue, green. All right, so row 4, we're going to chain 2 and turn. And again, we're going to start in the second chain from the hook, creating our first block. And then we need to switch over to the blue again. And now we need 2 blue blocks. So there's 1. And 2. And then we're going to switch back over to the green. And then put that last stitch as green. Alright, so that's what it looks like with 4 rows. And let's mark off some of these rows. Alright, so we're going to chain 2 and turn. And now in row 5, I need 5 greens. And there'll be no blues in this row. So I'm starting my first square here in a second chain from the hook. Wait a minute. And I'm actually going to bring this blue up because I'm going to need it in the next row afterwards. So when I start this second square, I'm bringing that blue up like that. So there's 2, and I'm just carrying this blue across. 3, 4. That blue is dropping behind, and then I'll put in my last stitch, which is row 5, which is 5 squares. So 5 green squares, so it looks like this now. Alright, so now we're going to chain 1 and turn, or chain 2 and turn. And then we're going to start our green square in the second chain from the hook. And then I'm going to switch over to blue. So I'm going to bring the blue up. And now I need 4 blue. So there's 1. 2. 3. And 4. Now we're going to switch back to the green. And then this last square, of course, is green. And in this pattern, the first and the last will always be green. And there we go. So there is 6 rows completely finished. Let's mark those off. All right, row 7, chain 2 and turn. And we're going to start our first square with the green. And then we're going to switch over to blue. So we need 2 blue next. So there's 1. And 2. And now I'm going to switch back over to green. I'm going to put a green one here in the middle. And then switch back to blue and put 2 blue in. And then back to our green. And then, of course, this last square is green. All right, so that is row 7. And row 8, we're going to chain 2 and turn. And we're going to start out in our second chain from the hook, like usual. And then switching over to our blue. We need 2 blue. No, 1 blue. Only 1. We're in row 8. So 1 blue. Back over to our green. And we need 1 green here. And then switching back over to our blue. We are needing 4 blue. 4 blue and a green should finish off this row. And of course this is row 8 and you will have 8 squares because every row you do, these squares go up by 1. So we need another blue one. And then we'll finish this off with the green. And there's row 8. All right, so we are going to mark off those 2 rows. 7 and 8 are done. So row 9 is next, so let's chain 2 and turn. And then we're going to switch over to our blue. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to switch over to our green. And we need 1 green. Switching back to our blue. We need 3 blue and a green to finish off this row. All right, and now back to our green, and we'll finish it off with the green. And there's row 9. So row 10, we're going to chain 2 and turn. And we're going to start our square here in the second chain from the hook. And then we need to go over to our blue. So we are needing 2 blue. So there's 1. And 2. Switching over to our green, we need 2 green. Back to our blue. We need 4 blue and a green to finish this row off. So there's 1. 2. 3. And 4. And there we have it. So there is row 10. All right, and let's mark those off. 9 and 10 is done. So let's chain 2 and turn for row 11. So we are going to start in the second chain from the hook. And now we're switching over to our blue, and we just need 9 blue going across. And then we'll finish off with the green. So we've got 9 blue in between the greens. So there's 2. 3. 4. 6, 7, 8, and this is 9. And then we're going to switch over back to our green. And then put the green one in the last one, as we usually do. Chain 2 and turn for row 12. We start our first green square in the second chain from the hook. And then we're going to switch over to our blue. Come on. We need 4 blue. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we are working another color in here, and that is our black. Black is next. We are needing 3 black, so there's 1, 2, and 3. So we're going back to our blue, but we're leaving this black behind, because we don't need it for the rest of the row. So we need 3 blue and a green should finish off this row. And there's row 12 completely finished, and that's what it looks like. All right, so let's mark 11 and 12 off. And then go to 13. So here we go, chain 2 and turn. And we need 1 green. Switching over to blue. We are needing 3 blue. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Then we need to go to the black, then we need 1 black here, and then we're going to bring up the yellow. Alright, we're going to need to carry this black with us, because we are going to need that. So we need 2 yellow next. That yellow can stay behind. Bring back the black, and we need another black right here. And then we're going back to the blue, and this black can stay behind now too. We don't need it anymore. And now we just need to finish this off with 4 blue and a green. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. And now let's switch in. Switching over to the green, we're going to finish this off with that green. Alright, and there is row 13. It looks like we've got the wing of the butterfly started there. And let's mark that row off and go to 14 next. Alright, so chain 2 and turn. And then we're going to start our square and the second chain from the hook. And switch over to the blue. No, that goes there. Alright, so we need 4 blue to start out with here. 1 green and 4 blue. Alright, so there's 2. 3. And 4. Now we need our black. So we just need 1 black here. And then we need to switch over to the yellow. And then we need 3 yellow in here. So there's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to leave the yellow behind, bring up the black. We need 1 black. And then go over to blue. I'll leave that black there. And now we just need 3 blue and a green, and that should finish off this row. And then switching over to our green. And there we are. Row 14 is finished. I think this one's going to be a fun one. Alright, so there's row 14. Let's start row 15. We should have 15 blocks in this row. So let's chain 2 and turn our work. And then in the second chain from the hook, we're starting our first square. Alright. Then we need to go to blue. And we are needing 3 blue. So there's 2. And 3. And then we need a black square. So we'll bring up the black, switch over to that. And this is the only black square we need. So we're just going to leave that black right there. And then we're going to bring up the purple, the yellow. Where did I get purple at? Okay, switch over to the yellow. We need 4 yellow. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4, and then switching over to our blue, leaving that yellow there. We need 5 blue and a green, and that should finish this row off. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then our green at the end. And there is row 15. Mark it off. Alright, so row 16, we are going to start the green in the first square, which is the second chain from the hook, and we are turning over to blue, and now we need 5 blue, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're switching over to our yellow. And we are needing 1 yellow in the next one. And then we're bringing up our mango. I love this color. So we're going to need to carry that yellow with us. We are putting 2 of the mango in. So there's 1, and 2. Switching back over to the yellow and leaving that mango there. We need 2 yellow. And I'm going to bring this black up because I'm going to need it in the next row. Wait a minute, we said 2 yellow. Yeah, and then we're going to switch over to blue. Hang on a second. So, Yellow stays here. We're switching over to blue, which is here. Now bring up this black, and I'm going to leave it there in the back. There we go. And then we are needing 4 blue and a green. That should finish off this row. And here's our green. And that is row 16. So we've got a little bit of our little mango in with that yellow. And let's mark 16 off. And start 17. Chain 2 and turn. And then we need our first green square here in the second chain from the hook. And then we're going to switch over to our blue. And we need 4 blue. So there's 1. 2. 3. And 4. Now we need to bring up this black. Well, I finished off that blue. And the next one here is black. And that is the only black one in this row. So we're going to leave that there. And I need yellow next. So we need 1 yellow. And then we need the mango. I need 3 mango. Oh, wait a minute. We are not needing that yellow again, so let's leave it behind too. Let's see, so 3 mango. There's 1. 2. And 3. Switching over to our blue. leaving that mango there. We need 6 blue and a green to finish off this row. So there's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Switching back to the green. And finishing off with that. And that is row 17. Alright, so row 18. We're going to chain 2 and turn. And start our first square in that second chain from the hook, as usual. Switching over to blue. We are needing 6 blue. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright, now we're going back. We need the mango next. So we are needing 1 mango. And then we're switching back to our green. And we need 1 green. Back to our mango. We need 2 mango. And then we're going to switch over to our yellow. And we just need 1 yellow. And then we need to switch to our black. And we need 2 black. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on a second, I'm going to do this right. Alright. We're leaving that mango behind. Then we'll put our yellow in. And we're also going to leave that behind too. Now we put our 2 black in. So there's 1. And 2. Alright, and then we're going to switch over to our blue. And we'll leave that black right there. So now we're going to finish this off with 3 blue and a green.
Hey, Kendra,
What?
I'm looking around, looking up for pumpkin cold fur, so I went over there and sit down and had she's sitting in my chair.
Oh.
So I got to let her go for
That was a good thing you didn't sit on her.
No, I saw right away. I'm like, look, I'm just saying she's there sitting in that chair. I got that. I'm going to sit in your chair. She's bad. I got it on the floor. You like sit down on the floor so you can you want. Yeah, there she goes. She sees the thing. She got down.
Alright, so there is row 18 completely finished. Looking good. Alright. 18 is done. Let's go to 19. Our butterfly is getting bigger. Alright, so let's chain 2 and turn. And we're going to start in the second chain from the hook with our green square, and then go to our blue, and we are needing 3 blue, so there's 1, two, and 3. And then we're going to bring out the black, switch over to the black, and then we need 1 black, and we're going to leave that behind. We're bringing up the yellow, we need 3 yellow next, so there's 1, 2, and 3. Oh goodness. All right. Now switching over to we're done with that yellow. So I'll leave it there. And so our mango, we need 1 mango. And then we're going to switch over to our green. We need 1 green. And then 1 mango again. And then we're switching over to our blue. And then all we need is 7 blue and a green, and that should finish off this row. So that's 3, this is 4. Five, 6, and 7. Switching over to green, and then finishing it up. And that's row 19. We're almost halfway there. Row 20. So we're going to chain 2 and turn. And start our green square in that second chain from the hook. And then we're going to switch over to our blue. So we are needing 6 blue. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, So we are needing this black yarn clear over here. So now we're needing one black right here. And then we're going to switch over to blue again, back to blue, and then we're going to put blue in here. Alright, then we're going to need the tangerine. The mango I'm at. So there's one mango. One green. And then we'll switch back over to mango. And then we're going to leave that mango there and bring up the yellow. And we need 3 yellow. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to switch over to black. We need 2 black, 2 blue, and a green, and that should finish off this row. There it is, row 20. Alright, so we are done with row 20, and I will be back for row 21. Alright, so we're going to chain 2 and turn for row 21. Here comes pumpkin. And start our green square in that second chain from the hook. And then we're going to switch over to our blue. And then it's just one blue. have the blue, the green, and now we need the black. So we're switching over to black after our one blue, and we need two black. So there's one. And two. And so blue, green, black. We're going to need that black. Then we're going to switch over to blue or yellow. So now we need yellow, and we need two yellow. So there's one. And two. And then we're going to switch over to our mango next. We need two mango. So we got one there. And two. Switching over to our yellow again. We need one yellow. And then back to our mango. We need one mango. We're done with that yellow, so let's leave it go behind there. Alright, and then we need to switch over to our green. And we need one green. And then back to the mango. I need another mango again. And then we need our black. So we just need one black down here, but I'm leaving that mango there. So we just need the one black right here. Alright. And then we're switching back over to our blue. So 7 blue and a green should finish off this row. So there's one, two, three, 6, 7. Switch off to our green. And there we have it. So there's row 21, and this is what our butterfly is looking like so far. Let's mark that row off. So row 22 is next. Chain 2 and turn. And we're going to start our green square in the second chain from the hook. Switching over to our blue, and we need one blue. So far, one green, one blue. Switching back to our green. We need two green next. So 1, 2, and then back to our blue. One green, one blue. Two green, one blue. Alright, so we got our blue and our green. Now we need our black. So it looks like we have one black here. Oh, I know what this is. Alright. Maybe not. Alright, so now we need a yellow. Let's carry this yellow up here. So we need a yellow here. And a mango next. So bring it up to. Alright. And then we're going to switch over to blue. So hang on a second. There's yellow, the mango. The black, the blue. Switching over to blue now, while we're still carrying all of our colors. We need a blue one right here. Alright, and then we need to switch over to our black. So yellow, mango, black. And then we're going to put a black one here. and then we get to leave it behind. And now I need the mango. So we need a mango, green, and yellow. One mango, one green, one yellow. So yellow, mango, green. We need a yellow next. And then the mango. So now we need 3 mango. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Mango stays behind. But first of all, we need to bring up the yellow and then put the mango behind. There we go. And now we need 3 yellow. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Then we're back to blue, and we need to finish this off with 2 blue and a green. So there's 1, 2, and then here's our, whoops, switching over to our green. I just lost that yarn. And there is row 22 finished. This is interesting how this is going together. All right. Let's mark off row 22 and then start row 23. Chain 2 and turn. Starting in the second chain from the hook. We start out with, we need 2 green. So there's 1, and 2, and then we need to go to our blue, and we just need 1 blue here. And then we need to carry, we need our black. How is it that? So we need our back black clear down here. So we need 1 black here. Alright. So we've got blue, green, and black. Now we need our yellow. So we'll bring it up. We need 3 yellow next. So there's 1, 2, and 3. So now we need to bring up our mango. And I need 1 mango. Switching over to our green. We need 2 green. So there's 1. And 2. And then we need the mango again. So let's bring that back. And then back to our green again. And then we're putting 1 green in there. And then we need black. And we need 1 black. And then we're back to the mango. And we need 3 mango. So there's 1. Two, and 3. And then we're going to switch over to the yellow. And we need one yellow. Switching over to the black. We need one black. And then we're going to switch over to our blue. And we're going to need 3 blue and 2 green. And that should finish off this row. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 2 green. And there is row 23 finished. 24 is next. Let's mark off 23. And do 24. So chain 2 and turn. And then we are going to start our first square and a second chain from the hook. And we're going to switch over to blue. So we need 3 blue. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to switch back over to the green and put a green in. Alright. Then we need black. And it's 1 black. And then we need a yellow. So we need 1 yellow. And then we're switching over to the mango. And I need 1 mango. Okay, and then we need to switch to the green. So we are needing 1 green, green, black, back to mango. We need 2 mango. Alright, so I've got the yellow, the mango, the black. Black is next. And then back to the mango. And we need 1 mango here, and then 2 green and 2 mango. So, hang on a second. Let's keep these in order. Blue, green, black, mango. So here we need to go to the green. That's next. And we need, what did I say? 2 green and 2 mango, 2 yellow. Back to our mango. And now we need 2 yellow. So that mango is going to stay there. I don't need any more. I don't need any more. So I need 2 yellow. And then blue, green, black. I need a black here, leaving the yellow behind. And then I need blue, and I'm leaving that black behind. So I need 3 blue and a green, and that should finish off this row. And there's row 24. Alright, so row 25. Chain 2 and turn. going to start out with our green. And then bring in our blue. So we are needing 3 blue. So there's 1. 2. And 3. Switching over to the green. We need 1 green. And then we need our black. All right. So now we're going to go to the yellow next. We need 1 yellow. And then bring up the mango. Switching over to that. We need 1 mango. And then we're switching over to green. We need 1 green. And then switching back to our mango. We need 2 of those. So there's 1. And 2. And then we need our black again. So yellow, mango, black. What row am I doing? 25? I don't think I did that right. Oh man. I think I'm redoing 24 over again. Let's go back to our I'm supposed to be on 25. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Alright, we're starting with a green. Goodness. Then a blue. Alright, then we're going back to the green. And we need two green. And then we're going to switch back to the blue. And we need two blue. Bringing this black up with me. So I'm going to put another blue right here. Alright. Alright, so now I got blue, green, we need this yellow. It is 2 yellow and 3 mango. And then, let's see, yellow. These colors come here. Here's the mango. And now I need 3 mango. So there's 1, 2, alright, yellow, mango, black, which we're really not needing yet, green, blue. So we need blue next. Putting a blue right here. And green. Black is next. We need a black here. And then we need our green. And that black is the last one for this row, so we can leave it behind. So let's go to green next. I need 3 green. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then we need to go to the mango again. And we are needing 1 mango. This is the last mango for this row. So leave it behind here. Go to the yellow. Hang on. And we need 2 yellow. And then we need our blue. So we need 1 blue. Um, 3 green. And a blue and a green. And that'll finish off this row. All right, and that is row 25. So this is what we have so far of our butterfly. We, yep. Row 25 has 25 blocks or squares in it. And we're going to mark off 24 and 25. All right, so we just did half of our diamond. And when we come back tomorrow, we're going to finish our diamond, which means we are going to start decreasing on both ends and create 2 new corners and work up to our last corner. But this is half of our diamond finished. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and bye-bye now.